Hey, I'm just doing an update from our earlier video this morning. And yeah, the markets have been, unfortunately, very active to the downside. I had to jump to work this morning. I didn't really get to watch it like I wanted to. Beforehand, I had a couple stops already set in place here. We put that 65, kind of drawing that line in the sand, and said, hey, the markets can't come back and regain this position here. Well, then I think we're going to have to admit the defeat of the trend. And yeah, that's what's looking like has happened, unfortunately. So before we were within this zone right here, we're within that 61 and $65 range. I knew that, hey, we better keep within here. we sure as heck better keep within there. And unfortunately, it did not. So it's tough to see, but I'm just going to shorten it up. So we're not going long-term investment style. We're trying to react to the market because we already got caught with our pants down. And now it's like, we're in the position, how many people are we going to let bend us over before we call her quits till we learn our lesson here? So right now you can see we're at 57.35 or 38. My apologies. I'm going to even go to a shorter time frame, the 2 hour, and you know what? That doesn't do any justice. So we're going to even go to a 1 hour time frame. So you can see here, you know what? That's not even justice either. So we're going to go to 30 minutes and kind of see this last little bit. And yeah, we can see that we had our huge downside right here. We had this opener. And these candles aren't very, I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit more. Seems like there should be a little bit more candles. Started out like hell, so we got 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 6.5 hours. I'm not even sure how many open hours the stock market is in a day, but we could see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should just be closing out our last candle of the day here. And it looks like she's going to finish around here. So I had this huge pre-market drop. We rallied back a little bit. Looks like we got, we're just going to change this because those lines in the sand no longer matter. We got 62.14 now serving as our immediate resistance. We could also say that this trend line is being respected quite well. So even if we could sell, let's say in this range, yeah, we better best be on our toes here. I don't usually trade during the day, but this is something that I'm taking my time out of my lunch hour right now. It's a little bit later than most people's lunch hour, but market's already closed in my neck of the woods here, and I left right about here for work, and crap, I didn't. I try not to think of it, but man, that's not where I wanted to see it. So I've actually physically put in a stop loss right now. I'm just like, I can't let this happen to me again. So my loss is right here. I am going to sell for over a 25% loss in my stock if it goes below. I have a market set for 56.95 or something. So if we're starting to break down into all-time lows again tomorrow, I'm not riding this roller coaster down. Now, if it doesn't reach this and it just catches and builds back up, I might try to sell for. I'm looking to get out of this now. And now it's just damage control. How can I sell for the most possible amount, considering that I'm not really sure. At this point, I just want to get myself out of the market, minimize my loss, because we're going to close for well below here. So unless this is complete market manipulation, which, hell, fuck, it probably is. I mean, sorry about my French there, but if we can get any type of recovery bounce, I'm going to be looking to take profit here. I mean, I'm going to be looking to sell, probably impulse sell, unless I can, we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely shifting towards more of a minimize the losses type of sense. If I put in a stop market loss, that means that potentially I could be already liquidated come tomorrow morning. I'm not even sure. I'm not going to be sitting here with TD with, who knows what tomorrow morning. It'll be sold if it's going to open up below this. And who knows, maybe I'll be the fool here. Maybe they'll just shake my bags loose, but this is just unwarranted here. And I mean, if we start having a strong correction, maybe I'll just buy back in. But you can see right here in this 30-minute time lapse that we're just falling off a freaking cliff. I mean, same thing with right here. We try to come back up. There's nothing. There's nothing at all. So I'm just gonna delete this because it doesn't matter. Now we're within this window here. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a lot of things making me real confident in the market. I mean, I had my line in the sand, and it got crossed. Got crossed, unfortunately, and now it's time for me to stick to my word. Yeah, we're having some pretty good sell action here. We had a huge, it's tough because it's superimposed. We had a big green, we had a couple of big green buy candles trying to hold this resistance here. We must have had a lot of orders in here for 65 to buy. So we're buying here until we just completely bought right through the order book. Now we collapse right through it into unseen territory. So on a lot of different momentum indicators, we've passed now. Past the support on the weekly. On at least a horizontal ray. We can see here, we still got downside to do, man. We got freaking, look at that. We got all this downward action and it's speeding up. It's like, some of those people that commit to doing a bad choice, they're like putting on the gas. They're stepping on the gas, heading to hell. I mean, this thing seems to be doing the same thing. Not that now I'm kind of all worked up a little bit. Not as calm and collective, but until this starts like showing a reversal, I don't think it's a very smart. I mean, it all depends when you got in, how much you're willing to hold on. But you could also say until we start breaking outside of this momentum here on a short time frame, like, well, this is a weekly, but say we just go in a daily sense. We don't have to make it so big or so thick. Let's go back to this arrow. Let's say we make it a lot more respective to the short term. Let's go right here. Continue it on. Say until we get some type of elevation above here, I mean, there doesn't really look to be much strength in the market. I mean, I was a little bit more cavalier, thinking that this wasn't going to be such a bad turn down. And really, you got to have some fortitude when everyone's always propagating fear all the time. So you don't want to always just react because of what someone else says or the whisper on the street. But in some sense, you have to, if you see a bear in the woods coming after you, man, like you have to just say, hey, I see you. I have to make a choice here. And that seems to be what it is. So with that clear break to the downside, that clear trend reversal, you know what? It's almost time to start drawing the trends the other way. Because we got right here and here and here. Let's just say we do something like this. We're trending the other way now, boys and girls. So what once was we'll do something like this. So we got some type of broadening wedge to the downside now, you would almost say, and it could bounce within this range as it makes its turnaround. Let's just look at this historically and some of these bigger downturns. So let's take this 2009, our more recent example. And here we can see it starts breaking away from the trend line. She falls right down, and we have a little bit of a gain, only to get kind of supported here to fall once more against this trend line. So you could say that we're right here, and I drew a line in the sand, and I meant it this time. I said, you know what, I'm not going below this line. And I really just hope I don't get filled tomorrow morning, but I drew the line right here, 56.95. I said no more, no more. And I'm looking for a place like this to get the hell out of here now. We had a conclusive close. I mean, until signs start reversing, I mean, I'm definitely bearish on all this stuff right now. So time to put my line in the sand and be a lot more active. And I'm looking for something like this. I'm looking for, let's just do a measure here. Let's say a measure from the bottom. Something not too much, but let's say, shit, that's 18% it bounced back. So it's a pretty good hefty bounce, but you got to realize that this is it's a 42%, so it jumped back about half. So coming back into the present, it sucks to sell it at the lowest point because you usually know it's going to bounce. It's just how far is it going to bounce? How far? So, and especially when you can't just sit here and watch it all day, you got to go to work. I mean, you got to do something, right? I mean, these are the times when it sucks to be a trader. I mean, it sucks to be in the wrong end of a trade. But also, it's tough because we haven't had much of this play out. Like, this is the steepest drop. There's no, like, this could be bad. This could, I mean, or it could be just a quick wick down and a quick wick up. And if that's the case, I'm going to be watching it, man, because if I get it closed out tomorrow and I see a lot of upward action, I might just jump back in and buy and sell a few times because this might just really parabolically shift back up. I mean, regardless, you can see the value in setting those lines in the sand, and I already drew 2 lines. This would be the third. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And yeah, if we go a third time, it ain't gonna happen, man, boys and girls. It ain't gonna happen. So I'm willing to take over, a 4-figure loss on my investment. I'm not a rich man. I'm barely at zero. These mean a lot. These are my money saved over months at a time. So you can make money and you lose money when you're in a market, and unfortunately, yeah, I got to suffer the consequences for almost practicing some cognitive dissonance. I know better. I know better, and I didn't act. So I'm gonna have to learn a really bad lesson here, maybe. And it's all good because maybe I helped save someone else from making the same mistake. And even this morning, I mean, I could have just sold out, and I could have saved myself hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but. Nobody knows what it's going to do right now. Nobody does. So I just want to come back here and just be publicly open with my decision. What I'm going to do, I set the stop limit at 56.95 for myself personally. So I might get filled out tomorrow morning. And you know what? I might be really mad if I get filled out and then it opens up and it's 60, 61, 62. It probably will happen, but when you can't sit there and watch the market all day, I might be laughing if it's 50. I might be really laughing if it's a lot lower. So for me at this point, when there's no real positivity, the monthly, like, look at that. That's ridiculous. That increase to the downside. So the monthly doesn't look good. The weekly doesn't look good. The daily, there's no real sign that we're going to have any support. We get into a 4-hour time frame. That's our last little support here. I mean, $57 is the new line in the sand, and man, like, you got to kind of laugh a little bit because you can only laugh or cry. Like, I mean, did I want to lose $1,500 this morning? Like, no. Did I? Yeah. So, shit, I mean, these are the lessons that will make you $1,500 later, though. So, really sucks. Really sucks to see the negative downside here and to not use the information. But right now, we're getting caught up within this line, these supports right here from our previous highs here. So it looks like we're kind of jostling within this range. You could set your, let's say, your stop limit a little bit lower than me, but I'm just using this previous low, the previous low from today. So I'm just basically doing it as damage control. Damage control, man. I really didn't want it to see it go below 58.18 here. I didn't really want to see it go lower because when we start looking at these next levels, where are we at? Well, we're down into here, you know, we're down into the 59. Ah, man, you know, so yeah, I'd say we're in this little range of, let's say, high, kind of high 56s. You can even say 56 low, but it's making me second guess if I should lower it down a little bit more to say 56 or something, but why lose the extra dollar too? Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say with this. I mean, it's really disappointing when, you know, you should have been already out and kind of patting yourself on the back that, yeah, you should have seen that as a clear line in the sand. Now we're just free falling, man. And the only way that you can give us a little bit of a support or in the shorter time frame is to look at these candles right here and say that, hey, yeah, we had about 57 that closed, we went back up, now we're coming back down, and we're ending right near that vicinity where we closed. So we could keep on dropping lower and lower, or we could have a nice pump up here. I suspect some type of pump back up here, but I didn't expect it to be so low when we woke up. So my position as is, I set a stop limit. Just give me some peace of mind. Maybe I'll be, I can't really be too proud of my decision right now. I can almost say for certain that I have some fear in me because I didn't set a plan. I didn't set a concrete plan, and now I'm suffering the consequences. And maybe this will be a good learning lesson for everyone else, especially if you don't have any money in this stock and you can see how you set it. It does, you know, if you don't, you can learn from my mistake. I like to be the example of the fool, like I mentioned in my earlier video. So let me suffer for you. I love it. But we'll see what happens. I got that now, so I got some damage control. Really sucks, but we'll see if we can catch a bounce tomorrow morning. I'm going to have to wake up early. I'm going to be waking up early and doing stocks instead of reading because this is just such a crazy time. Such a crazy, fearful time. So I'm sure all my other positions are not doing too well either. I mean, the only one that's doing good, let's say, is gold. I mean, gold isn't really doing that bad because it's a safe haven from everything else. So you could even see like some pressure, but it's not too bad. These are my other ones here. I can say that they're kind of doing less than perfect, but yeah, you can see some of my previous targets here to reinvest. Would I hit it? No, I would have missed out. So you can see, yeah, screw that. But anyway, unfortunate turn. Maybe if I was a little bit more educated, maybe I should have sold this morning. But you'll get honesty here from me if you want to listen. And yeah, I'm gonna call this video here and see. I'm gonna load this up here because it's good. It's good to see how things play out, and you can see that you can never predict what's going to happen. I was hoping for a much more optimistic afternoon. I was hoping for a close in this 60 plus range. To see it come down this far is just yeah, it's beyond bad. You know, it just really is. I mean, to see it break that by 10% in TD in one day, like, my goodness, man, my goodness. I mean, I'm gonna really try to. I'm gonna try to. I wish now, you know, I could only wish for those prices. So I'm gonna have to be very watchful. If I get closed out tomorrow, and I start seeing it rise up again past this, I might be buying in again, and then I might sell. I might buy. I might have to play around with some day trading to try to minimize my losses in this position, because I will not lose any more than what I've set now in the sand, but I don't want to just take the maximum loss. If I can get a couple $100 from waking up early tomorrow, it's gonna happen. We'll see what happens. Oh, wishing everyone the best here. In the end, it is just money. At the same sense, money affects our life, so we want to not spill out our negativity on other people. In hindsight, it will not be worth it. But yeah, everyone's gotta protect their wealth right now, and everyone has to make their own decisions too. So this is my decision. I'm not telling you to copy me, because I kind of explained the risk of it. I could easily wake up tomorrow and someone sells it, and then all of a sudden it's 61, 62, 63, bouncing back, and I'm like, why the hell did I sell it for 58 or 57? 56.95 is that actually what it would sell for, and that might be my downfall. But also, I'm doing it as an insurance, because I don't want to see $49 tomorrow morning. I'm gonna puke in my mouth. So that's what I'm gonna do. You know what? In the same sense, like for me, I'm a little bit more reactive to this, because I need this money to grow for me. I'm not trying to hold on for. If this truly is this cycle, I'm not trying to hold on to this stuff for 1,200 days. I don't want to hold this shit for 4 years. There's other stuff that's going to gain value. So this is definitely the line in the sand for me. I mean, I just don't want it to have like a bunch of up and down action and to come back and continue up. And then for me to sell for 20% loss and then miss out on all the gains back, that's not going to happen. No way, Jose. So now I got to commit to I gotta be really involved right now. I mean, this is not the time to be complacent at all. I'm going to draw another little trend line here in the short term, just to try to give us all the different things that we can. So I want this to fall up this wedge, and it can continue and drop down to hell if it wants. But drawing this line in the sand right here, it's a thin one. It's a very thin line, and I'm hoping we can get supported and not drop below these points. All right, this is my new plan. This is the continuation video from this morning. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I'm not as calm and collective. It's a crazy day. It's a crazy day, man. It's crazy. So it can get even the calm. Like I said, I'm not a rock. I'm a medium person, and like now the medium people are getting a little bit upset. So we'll see where this goes. I'm hoping that it just catches and we start moving up. But yeah, it definitely makes me a lot more. I'm a lot more fearful than I was last week. But maybe that's the point, right? I mean, regardless, this is my wealth protection. I'm looking at a 4-figure loss. Looking at double-digit and percentage loss. This would be the biggest loss I've taken in a long time. But there's nothing to say that it's changing momentum. Like, I can keep on trying to look for reasons not to sell. I mean, I'm not finding too many of them. But like I said, I'm going to be watching in these shorter time frames. This isn't my forte, but you better believe I'm going to be seeing if I can save myself a few bucks here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to blow off some steam and have a good workout here. All right, talk to you later.